If you work as an underground trauma surgeon for the city's worst crime syndicate, you learn a simple rule. Ask 0 questions. Bullet in the lung? No questions. Severed fingers in a Ziploc bag? No questions. But when the boss's men dragged me out of bed at 3 a.m. and told me to bring my surgical kit to patch up a rare black leopard in his basement, I really should have asked a question. That was my first thought as I walked into the subterranean concrete bunker. My second thought was, why does it smell like ozone, burnt copper, and vanilla? The bunker was lined with reinforced steel cages. Inside the largest one, suspended by heavy titanium chains, wasn't a leopard. It was a girl. I stopped dead in my tracks. My medical bag slipped from my fingers, hitting the floor with a dull thud.
What the hell is this?
Boss bought her off a poacher in the Amazon. She's an anomaly, a shifter. Boss wants to harvest her bone marrow to cure his leukemias. But she got violent. We had to trank her with enough horse sedation to drop an elephant. Your job is to keep her alive long enough for the extraction tomorrow.
I looked back at the cage. Her head slowly lifted. My breath caught in my throat. Her eyes were purely feline, piercing, glowing amber with vertical slit pupils. They locked onto mine, and the sheer predatory intensity in them made every primal survival instinct in my brain scream at me to run. But I couldn't move, because a voice suddenly purred right inside my head. A voice that sounded like silk sliding over a razor blade.
Doctor, if you let them take my marrow, I will make sure you are the first one I tear apart when I break these chains.
The voice echoed in my mind. I stood perfectly still, staring into her glowing amber eyes. The guards outside the cage were laughing, smoking cheap cigarettes, completely unaware that the animal they had locked up was currently talking inside my head. I can't help you, I thought back, hoping she could hear my internal voice. I have a tracking bomb in my neck. If I betray the syndicate, they detonate it. I'm as much a prisoner as you are.
Then we are both prey. Unless we choose to be predators. Come closer. Treat my wounds.
I picked up my medical bag. My hands were shaking. I unlocked the heavy cage door and stepped inside. The air around her was suffocatingly hot. I took out an antiseptic wipe to clean a deep gash on her ribs caused by a silver-laced whip.
Silver suppress my healing. Take the silver shrapnel out, quickly.
As I used my forceps to dig the silver flakes out of her flesh, her body convulsed. Her breathing hitched, and she instinctively bit down on my shoulder to muffle her own scream of pain. Her sharp teeth broke my skin. My blood touched her tongue. My vision went entirely black. I wasn't in a concrete basement anymore. I was standing in an ancient, endless rainforest under a blood-red moon. I heard the roar of waterfalls. I saw magnificent creatures, half human, half panther, leaping through the canopy. They were the apex guardians of the deep earth. Then I heard the gunfire. I saw men in tactical gear raining hellfire on her pack. I saw her mother, a giant black leopard, gunned down by a helicopter while trying to protect her. I felt her raw, agonizing grief, the soul-crushing despair of being the last of her bloodline. Then, the vision flipped. She saw my mind. She saw the operating table where I failed to save my fiancé. She saw the crippling debt I owed the syndicate. She saw me putting the explosive collar around my own neck to pay for my mistakes. She felt my deep, silent wish for death. I snapped back to reality, gasping for air. I looked at my shoulder. There was a fresh, glowing amber mark where she had bitten me, shaped like a stylized leopard's claw. She looked up at me, her amber eyes wide with a new understanding.
You have been hunted by your own guilt for too long, Arthur.
Before I could answer, the heavy steel doors of the bunker slammed open. The boss had arrived, and he was holding a bone saw. Volkov, the head of the syndicate, walked into the bunker. He was a massive, bald man, his skin pale and sickly from the leukemia slowly eating him alive. But his eyes were greedy. Behind him stood 6 elite mercenaries, their assault rifles aimed directly at the cage.
Doc. Time's up. The auction for its pelt is tomorrow, but I want its spinal fluid and mass tonight. Strap it down.
I looked at Volkov. Then I looked at the girl. She was staring at me, not with fear, but with a quiet, testing intensity. She was waiting to see what kind of man I truly was, a coward or a wolf.
She needs a spinal block first. If she thrashes during the extraction, the marrow will be contaminated with adrenaline toxins.
Do it! Fast!
I opened my medical kit. I didn't reach for the spinal anesthetic. I reached for a vial of potassium chloride, a chemical used to stop the heart during lethal injections. I loaded 2 massive syringes. I walked out of the cage, holding my hands up submissively.
I need the guards to hold her down. She's stronger than she looks.
The 2 closest mercenaries slung their rifles over their shoulders and walked into the cage, grabbing her by the shoulders. I walked up right behind them. And in one fluid, desperate motion, I slammed the 2 syringes directly into the jugular veins of both guards and pushed the plungers to the max. They dropped like stones, dead before they hit the floor.
Kill him!
But I didn't freeze. I grabbed the keys from the dead guard's belt and unlocked the titanium chains binding her wrists.
Time to hunt.
She dropped to the floor, and as she hit the concrete, her human form blurred. There was a sickening, terrifying sound of bones cracking and shifting. In a fraction of a second, she wasn't a girl anymore. She was a massive, 8-foot-long black panther. Her fur swallowed the light. Her eyes burned like hellfire. And she launched herself out of the cage. The giant black panther stalked toward him, her muscles rippling under her sleek coat. She opened her jaws, ready to crush his skull.
Wait! You take one more step, beast, and I'll detonate the collar around his neck!
That's right. You care about your little pet human? Back in the cage. Now.
The panther let out a low, earth-shaking growl. She actually took a step backward. She was willing to surrender. For me?
No time. Go to the cage.
I looked at the glowing amber bite mark on my shoulder. I remembered the memory she shared with me. The feeling of her mother dying to protect the pack. The absolute refusal to be a victim ever again.
Don't do it!
I looked at
I'm a
Volkov.
surgeon.
I picked up the surgical scalpel from the floor.
I also know exactly where my carotid artery is and where the bomb sensors are.
Before Volkov could react, I plunged the scalpel into the side of my own neck, digging under the metal collar, severing the biometric wire. Blood poured down my chest.
No, no, no! No, no, no!
Nothing happened. The circuit was dead. I fell to my knees, pressing my hand against my bleeding neck to stop myself from bleeding out. The panther didn't hesitate anymore. She lunged, a flash of black fur, a spray of crimson, and Volkov's head rolled across the concrete floor. The room went dead silent. Only the sound of my ragged breathing echoed in the bunker. I was losing blood fast. The cut I made was deep. My vision was blurring, the edges turning gray. The giant panther slowly walked over to me. Her amber eyes were filled with an ancient sorrow. She sniffed my bleeding neck. Then she began to shift. The fur receded. Her bones cracked and reformed. Within seconds, the beautiful girl knelt in front of me again. Her midnight hair covered her shoulders.
You foolish human. You killed yourself to set me free.
I owed a debt. To myself. To do the right thing. Just once.
I closed my eyes, ready for the darkness.
No! In my jungle, we do not let our mates die in the mud.
She grabbed my face with both hands. Her claws were still partially extended, gently grazing my cheeks. Then, she brought her wrist to her mouth and bit down hard. Her dark, violet-tinged blood welled up. She pressed her bleeding wrist directly against my open neck wound.
Drink. Let the shadow in.
The moment her blood entered my veins, it felt like someone had injected liquid fire into my heart. My eyes snapped open. The pain was excruciating, but it wasn't the pain of dying. It was the pain of rebirth. I felt my torn flesh knitting back together at an impossible speed. My senses exploded. I could hear a rat scurrying inside the walls 3 floors above us. I could smell the distinct metallic scent of every shell casing on the floor. I could see perfectly in the pitch black. I sat up, gasping. I wasn't just healed, I was enhanced. I looked at my hands. My fingernails looked sharper. My muscles felt dense, coiled with explosive kinetic energy. She sat back on her heels, watching me. Her amber eyes were glowing.
What did you do to me?
I made you my anchor. You gave me your freedom. I gave you a piece of my soul. We are bonded, Arthur, until the stars burn out.
We walked out of the underground bunker together. The night air of the city hit us. It was raining. The neon signs from the skyscrapers reflected in the puddles on the asphalt. Before tonight, I would have looked at this city and seen a concrete prison. A place where the strong eat the weak, and guys like me just try not to get swallowed whole. But now my senses mapped every alley, every shadow, every heartbeat within a 1-mile radius. I didn't feel like a victim anymore. She stood beside me on the rooftop overlooking the sprawling metropolis. She was wearing a trench coat we took from one of the dead guards. The wind blew her dark hair back. In the neon light, her eyes flashed from human to feline.
Your world is very loud and full of predators.
It's a mafia city. With Volkan dead, the other crime families are going to go to war to claim this territory. It's going to be a bloodbath. They will come looking for whoever killed him.
She turned to look at me. A slow, incredibly dangerous smile spread across her face. She stepped closer, wrapping her arms around my neck. Her body was warm, exuding a raw magnetic power.
Let them come. They think they are the kings of this concrete jungle.
She pulled back slightly, her amber eyes locking onto mine.
We are going to teach them what a real apex predator is.
I looked down at the city lights. I felt the beast stirring inside me, matching the rhythm of her heartbeat. I wasn't an underground doctor anymore, and she wasn't a prisoner. We were the new rulers of the night.
Welcome to the jungle.
We leaped off the edge of the roof, diving straight into the shadows, together. Creating this took weeks of work I can't fully explain. If this project resonated with you, please like and follow. Every single click of support is what makes the next chapter possible. I'm already working on what comes next, and I promise it will be worth the wait. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Oathloom Studios.